Damn!
It's more like it. Okay. My turn.
Well, that's not fair. It's not fair she could do that. Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. Today I want to watch the Orville Season 1, Episode 3, entitled About a Girl. I wonder if it might be about... I'm going to have to write down these names so I can remember them, but the dude who just sat on the egg in the last episode and then had a baby. And he's from a race of all males, and they were like, that's impossible, it's a girl. So, that was kind of left as a little bit of a cliffhanger, I think, so... Other than that, I would have no idea what this is about. Can't predict the Orvilles yet. Not yet. Perhaps in the future. But let's check it out. Like, subscribe, comment. If you like full reactions or early releases, they're on my Patreon for a couple of bucks. Alright, and let's do it.
God, she's so adorable.
Oh, it's the baby.
A female baby born to a member of an all-male species.
Yeah, Bortus, this kid is 1 in a million.
In fact, a Muklan female is born roughly once every 75 years.
Well, here's to the only girl in town.
If you all do not mind, I would like to be alone with my mate for a moment.
I wonder if they're embarrassed by it.
It must be done.
Yes. I will make the arrangements.
Uh-oh. Change its gender?
Yaphet, there's nothing wrong with you.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there is, Doc. I haven't been retaining fluids like I usually do.
Yaphet.
A swamp, it's a mess.
There's absolutely no evidence of fluid loss.
And then there's this cough. Right?
You don't have lungs, which means you don't have a cough. Yaphet, you've been I know what you're doing.
Just let me take you out on one date. If you have a crappy night, I promise I'll never ask you again.
We're incompatible species. It's impossible.
There's more where that came from.
Get out. All right.
Yaphet. What a horny blob.
I require your help.
Sure. What do you need?
It would take 2 weeks for the Orville to reach my home planet, Moklis. Therefore, Clyden and I would like you to perform the procedure.
What procedure?
To conform our child. To make her a male.
Yep. This is pretty deep.
Bortus, there's no way in hell I'm doing that.
May I ask why not?
Because I will not perform a sex change on a perfectly healthy newborn.
It is my understanding that as a doctor, your duty is to cure illness.
This is not an illness.
My world is different than yours. I would hope that you would respect that.
Wow. Interesting.
I will not perform a sex change on a newborn infant.
You're outnumbered, and my rifle is aimed at your head.
There's an entire regiment on the way. Give yourself up or you die here.
You shoot us, you'll hang for it.
Perhaps we settle this the traditional way.
You mean a showdown?
No, senor. We will have a dance contest.
What? What is this, man?
I have taken many years of jazz and tap.
What is this? I messed around with the program. I want to mix it up a little bit. You don't like it?
I infuse many different styles of choreography to make the steps my own. You will be defeated, senor.
I must speak with you immediately.
Portis, can't it wait, man? We're in the middle of the game here.
It is a matter of great urgency.
All right, I'll be back.
Ridiculous.
Dr. Finn has refused to perform a necessary medical procedure on my child.
What kind? I thought she said your kid's totally healthy.
I have asked her to see to the conversion of my child to the male gender.
You want to perform a transgender operation on a baby? That is completely unethical.
On my world, it would be unethical not to do so.
Why not just let the kid decide for herself when she's old enough?
Captain, in human biology, is there not an occasional mutation called a cleft palate?
Bortus, that is completely different. Being a girl is not a condition. There are no health risks. Having a vagina doesn't give you a lisp. I mean, depending on how you use it.
On our planet, there are. For you to judge us by human standards is unfair.
All right, look, even if I was not against this, we are on a Union ship. For me to order Claire to do something like this would be in violation of 100 laws. Request denied. Dismissed.
Huh.
I feel so sorry for that baby. There's nothing sadder than an unwanted child.
I gotta believe, at the end of the day, he has an open-minded conscience.
Oh, are you guys talking about Bortus's baby sex change?
My God, does the whole ship know about this?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Would the gender alteration procedure harm the infant or endanger her life?
There are different kinds of harm, Isaac. Psychological harm, for one. I'd have been pretty pissed off if my parents had made the unilateral decision to make me a guy.
And while it might have saved me an entire marriage if they had, it still would have been wrong.
Oh, thanks.
Bortus and Clyden will love her any less than they would a male baby, do you?
Well, they'd lose a lot of friends around here really fast if they did.
Captain, we're receiving a transmission from Moklis. It's from the head of internal affairs, a Minister Kabrak.
Uh-oh.
A vessel was requested by one of your officers. We are coming to take the Moclan female.
I mean, what can you do? That's what they're gonna do.
I am sorry, Captain. I had no choice.
Don't give me that crap, Bortus. Do you have any idea the kind of position you're putting me in?
The Orville need not be involved.
The Orville is involved, Bortus. By the very fact that we are the ones transporting the baby. That baby was born on a Union ship to my second officer. Which means that as long as she is aboard, her safety is my responsibility.
With all due respect, sir, we do not see it that way, and I do not believe the Moclan ship will either.
What does that mean? What are you implying this could lead to a military conflict? Bortus, your people are members of the Union.
Which, by the way, could be jeopardized if the Admiralty decides that this is unethical. Do you see the size of all of this?
Permission to return to my station, sir.
No, you're relieved of duty.
What are they gonna do?
Imagine that baby was born with a third leg.
Like a whole full-size leg.
And we had the doctor remove it. Now, no one would think twice about that, right? Even though there are species in the galaxy with 3 legs, we would be conforming that child to our species' appearance, and we wouldn't have any moral qualms about it.
Do you actually believe that's the same thing as changing a girl into a boy?
No, I don't. I'm just policing myself because we all know how easy it is to judge another culture's way of life just because it's alien to us.
But you have to balance that against some universal code of ethics.
The Moclans view the female gender as a handicap. There's one person on board who might be able to help.
Boxing's been gone a few centuries now, but Commander Gray taught me the basics, and trust me, it's an art form. Come on, put your hands up. Protect your face.
Damn.
It's more like it. Okay, my turn.
Well, that's not fair. It's not fair she could do that.
I am growing weary of my shipmates imposing their will upon my family.
Have you ever stopped to think that maybe they're right?
I will decide what is best for my child.
All right, Worf. He's mad now.
We thought you might need a little cheering up. How about a beer and a movie?
I am not in the mood.
Oh, come on, you're laid up anyway. What do you say, a couple of brews and an old Earth flick? Huh?
Rudolph, please. Could you tone it down a bit? I mean, that nose of yours.
To Rudolph.
No.
That's so funny.
Won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
It will be an honor, sir.
This is well-timed episode.
Full power.
Will this get to him?
Of course.
No.
Without Rudolph's nose, Santa would not have been able to complete his voyage. Christmas would have been ruined if Rudolph had been euthanized at birth as his father wished.
I don't know if that was ever on the table.
What was clearly a deformity became a supreme advantage. Watch the child for me. I must find Clyden.
Yeah,
No. No way.
Left his baby with 2 drunk dudes.
Reminds me of my dad.
So that did it?
I believe we should leave our baby unaltered. We must raise the child as a female. Out of the question. We do not know what kind of future we are taking from her. She may be destined to do great things as a female. You must hear the tale of Rudolph.
My conviction will not change.
You cannot be certain of that.
Indeed, I can.
How?
Because I was born a female.
Whoa! Holy shit. What a twist.
How could you have kept this from me? I am your mate.
When we first met, I did not know. It was my first examination by a non-Moclan physician. The doctor discovered evidence of the alteration. I was unprepared.
And why did you not tell me then?
Because I did not want to lose you.
Wow, this is heavy.
I love you. That has not changed. Your parents made this decision for you. You do not know what your life would have been like.
I would have been an outcast.
Perhaps you would have achieved glory for guiding Santa Claus on Christmas Eve.
What? Moclan vessel is approaching.
For guiding Santa Claus. It's so funny. Complete 180.
The child will be taken to Moclus, where she will undergo the corrective procedure.
Don't start passing out penises just yet, Captain Borak. The parents are in
In such an instance, the Moclan state is ethically bound to side with the parent in favor of correcting the condition.
Condition. So to you people, being a woman's like having chronic diarrhea.
Well, Kel, I think we should focus.
Hey, Doc, I'm not feeling well. I've had the tits all day.
I will not allow that child to be taken off the Orville without Bortus's consent. In the meantime, you can hang out on our ship. We have board games.
We have Monopoly. You can be the car.
Kel, I'm always the car.
Yeah. It's one time since he's our guest.
You can be the thimble.
We will depart from Moclus within the hour, and we will take the child with us.
I'm sorry, I can't allow that.
You will stand aside.
I will not.
Captain, I formally request tribunal.
What? No advocate on Moclus would defend such a thing.
To my knowledge, the advocate need not be a Moclan. Captain, I request that you be my advocate.
Oh, perfect.
You want me to be your lawyer? You took a year of interplanetary law at Union Point, right?
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah, that's a year more than I've had.
I cannot be the one to determine that child.
Commander, please.
Do it.
I'll do my best.
It's pretty wild.
Between soul and sacrifice beats the heart of civilization.
What's that from?
It is from a novel by Gondis Eldon, a Moclan writer of great esteem. It is customary to respond with a fitting passage from the literature of one's own planet.
What's it gonna be?
I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder.
Those are words of great power. Who wrote them?
I think it was actually about 15 different people.
What was that? Was that a quote from a song? It's so good. Such a great, so clean, the CGI. Whoa. Look at Moclus. That's insane.
I hate this planet.
Great music, too.
Completely industrialize the entire surface. It's amazing they can even breathe.
Whoa.
Oh my god, they're under attack! Alara, those are testing zones.
Moclus's primary industry is weapons manufacture, so they're a little fast and loose with their research and development.
They test explosives wherever the hell they want.
The fuck?
Commander Grayson to Moclan Air Control. What the hell are you bastards trying to do?
Our deepest apologies, Commander. That testing zone was added this morning. We neglected to include it in your flight plan.
That's great. Thanks for thinking of us.
I'm gonna need a pair of pants brought to the landing site.
We will have pants waiting for you.
He's kidding.
No, I'm not.
So this is a fucked up planet.
How long have you and Clyden been mates?
6.5 years.
Tell me about your gomaska, what you humans call a first date.
Clyden and I shared an evening meal at the dining establishment atop the Moclan Central Arcade.
And is it your wish to deny your offspring that same experience?
No. However...
Are you aware you are condemning your child to a life of shame?
I have recently come to believe that we are unable to make such predictions with accuracy. I feel the decision should be hers.
By the time she is old enough to have developed the sense of self necessary to make that decision, the childhood damage will be done.
That is a risk I am willing to take.
I am not. My inquiry is complete.
Why is it so bad to be born female?
It is a serious birth defect, which severely limits the ability to function. biologically, intellectually, and socially.
Let's look at the biological end of it. What are the drawbacks?
Females are weak.
Would you be so kind as to loan me your gavel thingy? Would you do me a favor and reshape this cube?
Impossible.
Alara, would you mind taking a whack at it? The tribunal will note that this female was more than strong enough to reshape the cube. Now, onto your assertion about male intellectual superiority. Lieutenant Malloy, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Any basic test.
Go for it.
You? Sorry.
It's okay, Commander. It's for the baby.
Let's start off with some Earth history. What was the capital of the United States of America?
Pass.
No, it's not a pass kind of thing. Just give me your closest guess.
What was the capital of the United States of America? Nabisco?
No.
The moon?
Let's move on. What are the four chambers of the human heart?
The Chamber of Secrets, the Chamber of Horrors.
While this male may be the fleet's best pilot, he's also an idiot. Sorry, Gordon.
Totally okay.
There is no valid claim for gender-based superiority.
Captain Mercer, tell me about your penis.
Did I miss a segue of some kind here?
Are you, what is the term, circumcised?
Gosh, you know, I don't usually discuss that till the second date.
I will rephrase. Are there cultures within the Union who circumcise their offspring?
Yes, there are some.
If a member of one of those races asked you to circumcise their infant, would you refuse?
That's completely different.
How? It is a significant bodily alteration, and the infant has no say in the matter.
A circumcision
Interesting.
is not a life-altering scenario.
And a life-altering scenario would be unfair to the child.
Yes, it would.
A life-altering scenario, such as a child shunned by Mocklin society planet-wide, that would be unfair indeed. Thank you, Doctor.
Very good, very good.
Go ahead, Captain.
Isaac, initiate a planet-wide scan of the Mocklin surface using the following search filter.
Interesting, Captain.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Scan complete. Transmitting data.
What's it gonna be?
Lamar here, sir. As inconspicuously as you can, grab a Lara and meet me at the shuttle. We're taking a trip to the mountains.
What are they up to?
Wait, yeah, there it is. Small cavern, 50 meters up.
One life sign, Captain.
What could it be? A female? Maybe a female that they're gonna... That doesn't make sense, though. I think this is a really good episode. Hello? It's so beautifully done.
Who are you?
It is a Mocklin female.
This continued delay is unacceptable.
My colleagues are urging me to withhold closing until they return with their evidence.
It has been 2 hours.
What do you got, a hot Kamaska tonight?
Silence!
God, Kamaska.
This tribunal is adjourned.
Wait!
What? A woman?
Is this?
My name is Havina.
This freak is an offense to the tribunal.
Dude, you have been a colossal dick all friggin' day. Shut the hell up.
Arbitrator, to my knowledge, there's no
When I was born, my parents made the choice to allow me to remain female. They believed that to have me altered would be an offense to nature. They taught me to love the person I was. The tribunal must not be allowed to take from this child the gift that I was given. So I present myself to you as a woman without regret. I am happy.
A life of isolation in the wilderness, cut off from society. This is your shining example?
The blackest abyss is a pock in the flesh. When one has gazed in solitude upon the infinity of self.
You dare to bastardize the words of Gondis Eldon to serve your own purposes? If he were here, he would spit on you for that.
Would he?
Oh!
Why don't you ask him?
Huh. That was pretty good.
No. I do not believe it.
Gondis Eldon is a woman.
Your planet's greatest writer is a female.
There are many ways to contribute to society, Advocate. This was mine.
Unless there are any objections, this tribunal is adjourned. Arbitration asked to give their decision within 12 hours.
How would they have known to look for that? Aw.
Hey, how you doing?
They really made up a baby to look like a Mothman. Maybe they CGI'd her head.
I gave everything I could out there. I hope it was enough.
I am grateful for what you have done for me, Commander.
Have you talked to Clyden?
He still believes she must undergo the procedure.
Well, I doubt the Arbitration Council does. Havina's testimony changed everything.
I wish I had such confidence.
I don't either.
You'd stay with Clyden after all of this?
I must try. He is still my mate, and I love him.
We will now hear the Council's verdict.
We do not find sufficient cause for suspension of the procedure.
Yeah.
The child will receive the corrective alteration. This tribunal is adjourned.
I'm so sorry, Boris.
Huh. What are they gonna do?
Bordas and Clayton, I am pleased to introduce to you your son.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Captain, permission to return to the Orville.
Of course, Bordas.
Dude, that's fucked up. They kind of had to do that, though, because...
I am sorry for all that has happened. It was not my intention to hurt you. I just wanted to do what was right.
What is important now is Topa.
It is a good name.
And we must give him a good life, whoever he becomes.
Yeah. So, they definitely, they had to do that, kind of, because otherwise it would have been, I mean, kind of too cliche of a show. Like, if that whole show was exactly the same, and at the end they came back and said, she doesn't have to undergo the procedure. And we're like, oh, yay! And then what? I guess Portis's husband would be, he would be the one let down. But all of us, everyone on the ship and all us viewers would be like, yay, we have this baby girl now. And she didn't have to undergo this sex change operation as an infant. And society of Moclan society changed a little bit. I don't know. That would have been too Star Trek-y, basically, where the ending is kind of happy. Unless they changed the general way they were doing this. I mean, almost like the whole gimmick of this episode was, we're going to make it look like that, and then at the last minute, we're going to pull the rug out from under you and have it be not the result you want. But it was really well done, and for like the third episode of all time, I feel like it was really kind of high level, well written. The comedy was there, but kind of receded a little bit in the background. I'm really just blown away by this show, actually. It trips me out. I've said this every time, and I've fawned over it every time in this way, but it just sort of blows me away that it's not as much of a comedy, and it's not as much of a parody as I thought it would be. Of like a parody of Star Trek, a comic parody of Star Trek. You know, it actually is just, it's almost like someone was like, I want the budget and the acting and the good writing, and I'd like to do a Star Trek, but we're not going to do Star Trek. We're just going to use all those tools that Star Trek kind of has given us to make like another parallel kind of situation, you know, without, so we're not bordering on any copyright infringement or anything of Star Trek. Just have everything be different, but we'll be able to make our own shows, and we'll be able to, you know, be a little funnier, almost like more realistic dialogue in a way. And it's been like, I can't believe in a way it's only the, well, wait a minute, yeah, it's only the 3rd episode. That seems definitely like an episode that would have been out of season 4 of The Next Generation, with that kind of a theme and that kind of, I mean, you know, those shows were made in 89, 90, the first Next Generations, and they were, you know, really finding their footing for a while, you know, and you don't really have to do, people don't do that as much anymore. Shows kind of seem to be, I don't know how they do it, but shows seem to, like, these days, like, it's like everyone really understands their character before the show even starts. You know, I feel like in, like, Next Generation, it's almost like the actors, I mean, I know the writing was a big part of it, but it's like the actors found those characters, you know, as the writing went on. But anyway, that was just mind-blowing. It was pretty good. Like, I don't know if it was great. It wasn't great. It was good. And it kind of touched on a social issue in kind of an interesting way. It was the old, and the theme that comes out of Star Trek a lot, you know, which is violate, you know, is the culture right? Or is his little analogy of, like, what if our baby was born with 3 legs? And even though there's 3-legged species out there, and then, you know, whenever it came to this gender changing thing, everyone would be like, well, that's different. And it's like, yeah, it is different, but it definitely, I think they made a good case. I mean, their point was to try to make it feel like, not that it's legitimate, but that would be legitimate position to respect the Moclan, you know, culture. It would be legitimate to go ahead and say, well, they, you know, that's their thing. We have to respect that decision. And I guess in the end, they sort of forced us to. It was kind of like a sad ending, because what we really wanted was for for Bortus to have a young daughter. And that would be interesting. And yet, they lost. And that, in a way, you know, when I brought up the TNG episode where they had the genderless race, and they ended that one kind of on a sad note too, where she ended up getting conforming surgery, similar. I mean, very different plot points than this, but very general, very similar idea. And of course, it was, do we respect their culture and let them do this? And someone going, no, you can't. It was the same basic. So it was very well done for the 3rd episode. All right, that was wild. Well, like, subscribe, comment, and if you like full reactions, they're on my Patreon, and the link is down below. Also, these edited reactions come out a little bit early on the channel, on the Patreon. All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye.